Good morning, beloveds. I have been to the gym. I have been hot and sweaty, and yeah. My shoulders will probably ache later, because apparently today was leg and shoulder day. He said, "So, I'm sure you noticed." No. You just asked me to do silly looking things, and, it helps. So, that's my Monday. I get up before the sun to go to the gym and work out with a trainer who's very, very good at his job. And then at the very end, I was like, I need you to give me a stretch for this. And he's like, okay. And so he gave me 2 stretches. Now I just have to remember to do them. So, it is August 10th. It is Monday. And our title today is Divine Circulation Animates My Being. All right. The Chinese sage said that the Tao, meaning spirit, produces everything, nourishes everything, and maintains everything. It flows through and is in all things, being all that there is. There is nothing outside of it. There is a spiritual presence pervading the universe, welling up in your consciousness, always proclaiming itself to be the source of your being. The enlightened ones of the ages have told you that your recognition of life is God within you, recognizing itself in everything you do. Say, I know that there is one mind, one spirit, one body. The mind, the spirit, and the body of God, the universal wholeness, the ever-present good, the all-sustaining life. Every organ, every function, every action and reaction of my body is in harmony with the divine creative spirit. I could not ask for more. Greater could not be given. I now seek to realize the significance of this one mind and this one body. I now become aware that the one mind is acting through my body in accord with its own divine perfection, peace, and harmony. The divine circulates through me automatically, freely. Every atom of my being is animated by its action. I know that at all times I have a silent, invisible partner walking with me, talking with me, operating through me. Continuously, I keep my mind open to its guidance, to its inspiration and illumination. Well, that was upbeat. That's good for a Monday. So, he says the Chinese sage, but he doesn't say which one. The Chinese sage says that the Tao, meaning spirit, and that's in parentheses, produces everything, nourishes everything, maintains everything. Well, yeah, it is the thread that runs through everything. It flows through and is in all things, being all that there is. That's what Science of Mind teaches. There is nothing outside of God. That's Jesse started to mention it on Sunday, that the circle V is one spirit descending into form, and then that it is an broken circle, because there's nothing outside of spirit. Spirit is infinite, therefore there is nothing outside of spirit, and that's also the reason why spirit cannot judge. God cannot judge, because you can only judge something that's outside of yourself. Well, there's nothing outside of God, so God cannot judge. It's all that there is. There is nothing outside of it, which is what I just said. There is nothing outside of it. There is a spiritual presence pervading the universe, welling up in your consciousness, always proclaiming itself to be the source of your being. The question becomes, he uses the phrase welling up in your consciousness. Is it a small bubble or is it a geyser? And at any one time, it can be any of those. When you're struck by that divine inspiration, then that is a geyser coming up in you. That is the divine welling up in you going, oh, hello, here I am. Let's do this. And sometimes it's just a soft, gentle bubble where there's just a tiny little stream, but just enough to saturate your being if it's allowed to do it long enough. And sometimes it's just a nice steady stream. But the question is when you need that inspiration, do you go looking for that well? Because if you don't, you're not doing yourself or it any favors. So when you are looking for divine inspiration, go look for that well. And maybe clean it out a little bit and let it well up a little bit bigger. I mean, don't let it knock you on your butt unless you want. I mean, that's okay too. Divine inspiration striking like a geyser is pretty amazing. But, go look for it. The enlightened ones of the ages have told you that your recognition of life is God within you recognizing itself in everything you do. Yeah, let me read that one again. The enlightened ones of the ages have told you that is your recognition of life, that your recognition of life is God within you recognizing itself in everything you do. Not judging you, simply recognizing you. One of the more powerful exercises that we do in one of our heartfelt living classes, which is the foundation class, is we look in each other's eyes and see God looking back at ourselves. Try that. Especially if you're dealing with somebody who's difficult, look in their eyes and see God looking back at you. And see if that doesn't make it easier, at least for you. It may not change them, and then again it might. Because if you're holding consciousness that they are a child of God, that they are God looking back at you, maybe. Say, I know that there is one mind, one spirit, one body. If you notice, a lot of Science of Mind ministers start that way. Or in similar words to that when they do treatments. There's one mind, one spirit, one body. Well, we got it from Ernest, obviously. The mind and the spirit and the body of God. Now, we don't say that necessarily, but we might, because that's the unification. And he's doing treatments here, people. The universal wholeness, the ever-present good, the all-sustaining life. So, universal wholeness, there's nothing outside of it. The ever-present good, that good is always there. Sometimes we're being, blind and not noticing it. And the all-sustaining life. Every organ, every function, every action and reaction of my body is in harmony with the divine creative spirit. So, if your body is not working the way that you would like it to, there's your phrase. Every organ, every function, every action of my body is in harmony with the divine creative spirit. That right there is a treatment in and of itself. I could not ask for more, greater could not be given. I could not ask for more because there is nothing that spirit will not give me if I ask for it. It may not give me exactly what I want if I'm too specific, but it will always give me anything I ask for. And there's nothing more that it can give because it's going to give me everything that it is. It's going to give you everything that it is. Are you willing to accept it? And that is the $64,000 question. I think that's the old pyramid game. I now seek to realize the significance of this one mind and this one body. I now become aware that the one mind is acting through my body in accord with its own divine perfection, peace, and harmony. Okay, so I now seek to realize the significance of this one mind and this one body. So Jesse was talking about the difference between psychic and intuitive. And the intuitive is the recognition that there is one. Everything in the one is available to me if I'm willing to accept it. There is one mind. So, therefore, if it exists in that mind and I need it, I can ask for it and I can have access to it if I'm willing. Same thing in the body. There is one body. So if there's something in this body that I need access to, that I want access to, I desire access to, then if I ask, it shall be given. Am I willing to ask? So I now become aware that the one mind is acting through my body in accord to its own divine perfection, peace, and harmony. It's not acting through my body in accord to me, but through its own nature. And its nature is perfect, peace, and harmony. Not messy, or any of the other words we could use. Perfection, peace, and harmony. That's its nature. The divine circulates through me automatically, freely. The only way to get in the way of the divine is me. I can get in my own way. So if it is not automatically, freely circulating through me, then I'm getting in my own way. It's there. I am made up of divine stuff. Why would I not want it to circulate automatically and freely through me? Every atom of my being is animated by its action. I know that at all times I have a silent, invisible partner walking with me, talking with me, operating through me. Consciousness goes all the way down to the very atoms that I am made up of. Because the very atoms that I am made up of, the very atoms that you are made up of, are divine. So you, at all times, have a silent partner that loves you. That absolutely loves you. Because it can't do anything else. Spirit cannot do anything other than love you because you are made up of itself. So you have a silent, invisible partner walking with you all of the time. And if you are open to the guidance, it is talking to you all of the time. And it is operating through you all of the time to bring you into that perfect harmony and peace. Are you willing? Continuously, I keep my mind open to its guidance, to its inspiration and illumination. So I'm going to go back to that well that is bubbling up within me all of the time, flowing through me, saturating my cells, continuously, automatically, freely. So our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to recognize the divine circulation that animates our beings. To recognize that we are the mind, the spirit, and the body of God. And that through us, it recognizes itself. It has agency and motion in this world. We are its creative conductors. I think that's Thomas Troward called us conductors. We conduct that divine through us. That is our mission today. Our mission every day. So I'm going to encourage you to do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, do something loving for yourself. Because that is what Spirit would do. Open your windows. You probably have a short window to do that, to get some fresh air today. It's going to be a hot one, so please drink plenty of water. But open the windows to your soul, get that breath of fresh air. Get that breath of heaven that renews you, that reminds you that good is all around you. And do something that engages your mind and your body today, whatever that looks like. So as I move into the process of my day, I remind you that you are the beloved child of God in whom Spirit is well pleased. Always, forever. And there is nothing that you can do that will turn God away from you, because God cannot judge, because you are not outside of God. God is within you and around you always. All right. Reverend David will be on sometime around 5 today. I will be back with you at 9 tomorrow. Have a fantastic day and do what you need to do to make it wonderful. Bye, beloveds.